No people, except those with a heritage in the land we now call Bangladesh, can understand better the ravages of natural disaster. As this community has given comfort to its neighbors in times of Katrina and experienced a natural disaster that many lived through here, the worst natural disaster in terms of the sheer force of the winds and the waters and the property damage in recorded history in this community during this last year during Hurricane Ike. Those who've dealt with some of the flooding and natural disaster that from time to time affects the land of Bangladesh and this nation understand the effects of natural disaster and also understand the generosity of the human spirit of people taking care of each other, as we've seen people in Bangladesh and America do, as we saw right here. We're many of you who've come from different lands and different parts of this country, in Canada. Some of you may not know that in the George R. Brown Convention Center that we gather here today at, here was the site where so many gave comfort to thousands and thousands who came here after Hurricane Katrina with nothing but the shirts on their back. Here was also a transfer station and a medical emergency center during our Hurricane Ike. Here is a place of mercy. And so it's fit that we have a great convention here. We're honored by your presence here, and we honored especially by the contributions made to our community and those communities throughout this country, like those who have a heritage in the land, in the nation of Bangladesh. We're honored by our distinguished visitors, some who've traveled 12 time zones away to be with us and to celebrate for those who keep their heritage alive. For those who are first and second generation Americans within the community here, I want to thank you deeply by contributing to the cultural richness of this country and the heritage that we can all share by keeping the memory of your homeland alive, by keeping the ties to that homeland alive, their traditions and memories. On a personal note, I was just a young man when the conflict was fought and sacrifices were made. Some may know in the community from the subcontinent my long involvement with the subcontinent. I heard from one of the participants in those discussions with Sheikh Mujib that led to the partition and independence in some detail about those negotiations, the sacrifices that occurred, the resistance by those, some in the military, who wanted to cling on to power and not do what's right and recognize the rights of self-determination. And those experiences which were shared to me by Prime Minister Bhutto personally when I was at that age have always given me a strong bond of affection for those, and particularly those who were freedom fighters who stood up for their rights. We are blessed to live in a great country, but thank you for reminding all of our countrymen within this country that just as we're proud citizens of a nation, so we share. We hope our children and grandchildren will share even more so an awareness of our obligations as citizens of the world. As Congresswoman Lee and Congressman Green and other national leaders recognize in this country, as our President recognized, and leaders throughout the world increasingly recognize, we are tied together by bonds not only of kinship, but we're tied together by the fact that we now live in truly a global economy. Right now we are experiencing a worldwide recession from which no nation is exempt, requiring unprecedented international cooperation and understanding. We understand, too, that each of our countries can be victimized by international crime or terrorism that crosses state boundaries. We recognize things in the spirit of goodwill. Every time that we have a gathering such as this, where people remember their heritage, every time we have a gathering that is marked by recognition of the fact that we're an international community and can begin by the national anthems of multiple countries. Every time that we can come together and share our common humanity and the laughter and the dreams is something that binds this world in a historic undertaking that this generation and the next generation, the one that came before it, can say that we were there at a time where we became one world. And thank you for having this particular event in Houston. Not only are we the fastest growing city in the United States by job growth, but we hope to be the friendliest city in the United States. And so I just want to say to each of you here, we hope that you, we hope you don't take too much cash back if you travel from outside the Houston area. Our restaurants and shops are good within this particular community. And for those who may be suffering from anxiety from wherever you are, then I just want to remind you of a few things. I know we're proud to be the third largest community of Bangladeshi community in the United States after New York and LA. But I will say that for those of you who are willing to work hard, abide by the rules, raise a family, enjoy freedom, enjoy living in a community where some may have more important responsibilities, but there's no such thing as somebody who's a more important person than anyone else in this community. If you like a community that is experiencing a strong economy and where you can buy a house within the city limits with 1,500 square feet for $130,000, if you like the sound of that, then maybe you should do more than just visit the restaurants. Take a look at Houston, because we'd love to have you move here. Thank you all very much. And on behalf of over 2.2 million citizens of our community, I get to say that we recognize the Bangladeshi Association of Houston. We recognize the Federation of Bangladesh Associations in North America. We honor you for honoring us by your presence, and we get to say that today is Federation of Bangladeshi Associations in North America Day in Houston, Texas. Thank you very much.